Well, hello everyone. This is Carrie Beck with FamilyEbiz. I am so glad that you are here with me today. If you're listening to the live or the replay, it doesn't really matter. I am going to be asking some questions along the way, and I hope that you will leave a comment with your answers. Let's start talking about ways that we can improve your business and grow your business. And I truly believe what I talked about last week when it comes to your calling in business and what you are called and how you are called to serve is the foundation. Today we're going to talk about focus. I don't know about you, but I've had the shiny object syndrome many times, and I go off. But I will tell you, in the last couple of years, I feel like God has really helped me focus. So are you looking for the next way to make money because you're not making the money you desire? So it's like, okay, that didn't work, so I'm just going to move on. You know, I can truly relate. If that has ever happened to you, leave something in the comment and let me know if that's one of your things. I know a lot of you have told me I got shiny object syndrome, and I am always like, oh, that didn't work, I'll keep going. Maybe it's like I can relate. I've been there, trying all the things. It's SEO or Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, social media. Oh, let's see, I'm going to sell some holiday ebooks, so I'll go write some new things. Or, you know what, that didn't sell like I wanted. I'm going to go create a brand new course that takes me 3 months to create. Or now I'm going to go start a membership because that launch didn't work very well, so I'm going to just start a membership. The list goes on and on. Can you relate to this? Do you ever feel like that? Today I want to share a solution with you. For those of you that have read some of my emails, I will tell you that last Wednesday morning I spent 3 hours in an intensive with my mentor, Amy Porterfield. She talked about 7 trends in selling courses this year, and I mean, I was blown away. There are a couple things I had already decided to do in May, but she gave me some great ideas of how to improve my launch. But she also had a guest for 1 hour. She spoke, guest, and then she spoke. Patrice Washington, I have not ever really heard her before, although I think Amy's had her speak before. But Patrice Washington, she tells her story. I'm not going to go into details, but I will tell you that the basis for her company, she told, was Proverbs 17:16. She was on the bathroom floor, I think that's where it was, and all of a sudden she decided to read her Bible, and it says, "Of what use is money in the hands of a fool, since he has no intention of acquiring wisdom?" And she said it really hit her. If we don't have wisdom, why should we have any money? Because if we need wisdom to be able to use that money wisely. Another version, why should fools have money in hand to buy wisdom when they are not able to understand it? That's what happens sometimes. We just want this money, but we really don't know what to do, and we don't use it wisely. And so her entire business, from what I understand, the little bit I've seen of her, is all about helping businesses, helping people think wisely and use their money wisely, use their business wisely, use their life wisely. And one of the comments she made, I'm going to share 2 main things that I learned from her, was when you know something, you have a responsibility to share it. Think about that and tell me what you think that means in the chat. When you know something, you have a responsibility to share it. Some of you suffer from imposter syndrome, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not going to share that. They're not going to pay attention. They're not going to like it. God's given you a message. And so if he's given you something, you have a responsibility to share it. He's given me a message. He's had me walk through my story, through my life. And I'm going to tell you, there are people that have come to me that never would have come to me 10 years ago because of the things I've walked through in the last 7 years. God's opened so many doors. Does that mean I make money from it all the time? No, but I build relationships. I have a message to share. Yes, I have a business and I'm going to need to make money, but there are other things that we need to do too. And I think part of that is we need to share the things that we know. And if we only, here's another thing she said, if it only helps one person, that is one person that you have helped. Some of you are like, oh, I only had 1 person on here. Oh, I only had 10 people on here. Well, that's 10 more people that could have not had your help yesterday. We need to rethink it. Numbers, all these big numbers don't really matter. We need to realize that me just helping one person is good. And then maybe helping this person next week. Hello, Sherry. We need to serve others through what He has allowed in our lives. That is so true. So when you know something, you have a responsibility to share it. Now, Patrice went through 5 pieces of advice, but we're going to focus on one in hopes that it will help you grow your business. Because I have been, okay, I work with a lot of mastermind people, and I have seen this over and over and over. And it's not just the shiny object syndrome. This is the one piece of advice that Patrice shared with us that I'm going to share with you today. You need to do fewer things 1,000,000 times. Think about that. What does that mean? You need to do fewer things 1,000,000 times. What does that mean? You need to do fewer things 1,000,000 times instead of 1,000,000 things a few times. What do most of us do? We've got like 1,000,000 things to do. We're all so busy. We do 1,000,000 things just once or twice. And that is not going to grow your business. You need to get that focus and find out what is the helping your business, what you have been called to do, and whatever that calling is, you need to do it over and over and over again. And you need to give time for your calling, your course, your product, your membership, whatever you're called to do, to truly blossom. That's going to look different. But let me ask you, and if you are brave enough to put it in there, and I would say yes to this question, put it in there. Have you ever sold something and it didn't sell well, so you just went to the next thing? Have you ever sold something, launched something, and it didn't launch like you wanted? Maybe you try it one more time, and you're like, this isn't working. I got to go on to the next thing. Go find that next shiny object. You are not giving yourself and your product time to truly blossom. You need to give yourself time to ideate or ideation or whatever that word is. So you do a beta launch and you learn lessons from it. And then you do 1.0 and you learn something. And then you do 2.0 and 3.0. And I am telling you, that is where I am. I redid my entire Racing Leaders course. If for those of you that don't know, I have a whole homeschool niche, and I work with homeschool moms to raise their kids up to lead well, to influence and impact for Jesus Christ. If I had just stopped the first time because it didn't make my goal, I think my goal was probably like 50, and I think I sold 10, something like that. But if I did that, I am not giving the market a chance to get to know who I am and get to know my product and for it to grow. But let me tell you, I did it in January a year ago. I did a mini launch for a few days in March, but when May came around, I was gung-ho ready. I knew what I was doing. It was so much easier, and I had a much better launch. It's a year later. I've done a few little launches. I am ready for May to come again. I got some great ideas. Instead of just 2 or 3 pre-launch weeks, I've got 6 or 7 weeks. I am so excited. Anyway, one thing I have decided to fulfill this fewer things 1,000,000 times is for the last almost 2 years, I have only focused on one course. One course that I launch in a year. I'm not trying, yes, I will sell some holiday stuff. I will sell some other things. But my main focus is improving my leadership course and being known for Christian leadership education. Put something in the chat and let me know, what are you known for? What is that one course, that one product that you are going to be known for that will grow your profits? And then think about it. What are you not giving a chance? If you're constantly going to the next thing, you're really not giving anything a chance to grow. You don't have a process to process what's happening. You gave up too early, and you just keep moving on to the next thing. I think this is really important. And I see a lot of people that have started their business and they're not even making a part-time, or maybe they're making a part-time income and they're trying to get to the next level. It's because they're constantly going for the next thing and creating new products and not letting their current existing ones ever take hold. I was guilty of that. That is exactly where I was 3, 4, and 5 years ago. I just kept doing things over and kept making new things and doing it. I never did focus on one thing and do fewer things a million times. What is the one thing you're committed to doing a million times? Leave something, if you're in the replay or the live, what is it that you are committed to doing a million times? I am committed to focusing on raising leaders, not followers. And because of that, I am going to have to release some things. So think about it. What are millions of things you could release so you could focus? That's not things that are not in the season of your business. For me, all the different bundles, I used to just promote every bundle there was. I am very selective. It is going to have to really help my audience. It may not be, well, actually, most of them have a little something to do with leadership education. I am promoting a gospel bundle right now, and I am all about Christian leadership. I will be promoting something at the end of the month, and it is about notebooking, and notebooking is one of the tools of learning that we teach in raising leaders, not followers. So I'm very selective. I'm not talking about using your time more wisely or whatever, at least in my homeschool niche. So what millions of things can you release and quit doing a million things once or twice? Another thing is speaking. I need to choose speaking opportunities that align with my calling. What aligns with your calling? Those are the things you need to choose to do a million times. All right, does the market know who you are? Because if you work the same thing over and over and over, they will get to know who you are. Quit creating more things to sell. Focus on the few. Focus on your calling, and then release all those other things. You're like, oh, okay, well, I'll give you a few examples. Yesterday morning in church, we sang this beautiful song, Behold the Lamb. I just talked about it in my homeschool training. And I'm thinking, oh, that would be great copy work. I could go home and make a Easter copy work ebook. And by the time I got home, I was like, Carrie, that's just another thing that you're doing a little bitty bit. That's another one of the million things. So instead, I just shared it on my live training and said, I'll give you the words for it, but I'm not going to make some printable for all, with a whole bunch of copy work. I got all sorts of ideas. But will that further my raising leaders, not followers? Not at this moment in time. Maybe if I had extra time, maybe if I could pay someone to do that, but that's not going to further it. I already have Easter lead magnets. There was a blog post that came up this morning. I was like, oh, I want to finish this. It was all about the Easter symbols and are the Easter symbols Christian or not. It was something I wrote 2 or 3 years ago. It is still sitting there because it's one of those million things that is not going to help me focus on what I am called to do. You must know your calling. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, go listen to last week's training as well. So leave something in the chat. Tell me, what is your calling? Where are you focused on? What is that focus that you will do a million times? And what are you going to do over and over this year? And if you haven't started, like you're just getting started, what's the one thing that you will do? What are you going to launch this year? And you're not going to, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just say to yourself, yes, I'm going to get this done, and I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to do the things that it takes to launch this. I am not going to get sidetracked with all the social media and the TikTok. Like everyone's talking about TikTok. That would be fun to do, but I don't have time to figure it out. If I had a huge team, I'd let them figure it out. Just like Instagram. Instagram's really good even in the homeschool market, and I am hoping to grow that this year, but it's not my focus. I focus on where I get the most traffic, which is SEO and Pinterest, and then email marketing, just sharing the things over and over and building that relationship with the people that are on my list. So what is it that you are going to do a million times? I didn't say what are all the million things you're going to do. What is it that you're going to do a million times? I'm committed to my writing, Sherry. That's great. But I think you need to get even more specific than that. What kind of writing? Because I'm committed to my writing, but I'm telling you right now, my email writing is more important right now than writing another blog post. I have blog posts and I am trying to get some of those out. But you need to narrow it down, and what writing will make you money if you're really serious about a business. Now, there are ministries and they will serve, but that's where you need to have donors and things like that, and maybe ad sell and that all. So Sherry, I think that is great. That is fantastic that you've made that decision and you know what you're going to focus on. Now I think you need to niche down and figure out what kind of writing is it that you will do. So if y'all have comments or questions about or want to try to figure this out, leave something here in the chat. I will be back. I would love to know what your calling is and what's that one thing that you're going to do 1,000,000 times this year. Hey, I'm Carrie Beck with Family eBiz. Talk to y'all later.